So tonight on Dbz Dokkan, we are going to be getting the EZA event for the STR Jiren. Now, despite how this Jiren probably could have been a little bit better in terms of his EZA, the EZA event is still very useful to grind up. Of course, you do get 30 plus stones just for free. You also get some Zenny, and then you do get those 11 STR Kais. So, still very useful. You should all be doing it. And the category weakness is Miraculous Awakening. So, most players shouldn't really have that much difficulties with this, but I still figure we could do the team guide because it's not the best category, so some people might kind of struggle with some options for the team. Now, you can see right here, this is Miraculous Awakening. Yeah, only one lead, and it's the UI Goku. So, the good thing is, UI Goku's still pretty good. I would say he's probably the best lead you can bring for this event. You see here, he's only a 170% lead, though. So, unfortunately, he's not going to be giving the 200% buff to Miraculous Awakening. But you can see he's literally the only lead for Miraculous Awakening. So, you know, we need some new buffs for this category, man. Maybe a new, I don't know, standalone Beast Gohan or something like that who leads this for like a 200% or anything like that would be great. But anyway, UI Goku, pretty much the best lead for this category. He's still a very good unit. He's got type advantage in here. He's got all the additionals built in. You can see he's got the high chance to crit on his super attack effect, which does stack. So all additionals are guaranteed crits. And then also, he's just a pretty good unit. He's got his dodge. And like I mentioned, he can do some pretty solid damage. But then he does also have this active skill. So typically with active skill units in these EZA events, I talk about how like, yeah, it's good they've got the active skill, but you're never really going to see it. No, you're going to get this pretty often in these EZA fights because you can see the condition is that you can get it when HP is 50% or more, starting from the 4th turn from start of battle. Typically, these EZA fights are going to turn, 3, 4, 5, especially once you hit stage 20. So you're going to be getting this pretty often in these fights. And considering this guy's an LR, considering he's got type advantage, and considering he's, an anniversary unit, he's going to be doing a lot of damage with this active skill. So a really good option just to bring on the team, even if you're not going to use him as a lead. But for most players, I would say probably use this guy as a lead. Now, next up, we do have the AGL Gohan. So this guy's a pretty good lead as well. Once you have him EZ8, he leads Kamehameha for 3 key and then 180% to stats. That's definitely pretty good. You could probably find a good Kamehameha sub-team in here. You can see you got a lot of Gokus, a lot of Gohans, all that. So most of them are on Kamehameha. So then running this guy as a lead would probably work. Now, he's got type advantage in here. He's got additionals built in. He's going to look pretty impressive. He's not going to be insane, but he's an EZA Dokkan Fest LR. So, of course, he's got some value in bringing him in here. For the first couple stages, you are going to be able to lower the enemy's attack as well. So if you're struggling with the enemy, dealing too much damage, this guy should help out with that. Throughout the fight, he is going to get better because, of course, he is stacking defense. But like we mentioned, these EZA events aren't going on for that long. So you're not really going to be able to make use out of this defensive stacking. He does also have the active skill where you go into Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. No. Yeah, you're never going to see this. I'd be surprised if you could actually get this in this EZA event. It'd be more difficult to get to stage 999 than it would to be getting this guy in an actual EZA fight because you're just not getting it. Not only are you not going to run an androids category unit on the team because, again, Miraculous Awakening is the category. Well, I mean, there is this guy. I don't want to say it's necessarily impossible. If the fight goes on long enough, you might be able to get it, but most of the time you're probably not because I think there's a turn condition here as well. Yeah, from turn 5. So you're probably going to wrap the fight up around this time. So I don't know. I guess maybe it's possible you could get this guy like the final turn and then kill the enemy with Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. And if you do get that, I mean, yeah, this guy's good. He's good. He's probably one of the best units in the game right now when you transform with him. He's doing so much damage. He's getting so many additionals. He's orb changing. He's getting so many stats with those orbs. It's crazy with him. So if you get the transformation off, yeah, you're going to cook. But even just as Super Saiyan Gohan, he's still very useful. And like I said, you could probably run a pretty good sub-team with him. Now, next up, we do have the Super Saiyan 4 Goku. So this guy's not out on Global, but the Jiren EZA is on JP. So if you're watching this, that means you're a JP player. And you probably do have this guy because I'm sure a lot of you did summon for him. Now, he's a pretty good lead. He leads GT Heroes and Full Power. A lot of units on here are going to be on Full Power. I don't really know about GT Heroes, but definitely a lot of Full Power units here. So you should be able to run a good sub-team with him. He is also a 200% leader skill. So if you're on Hybrid Saiyans or Pure Saiyans, which most of the units on here are, you see a lot of Gokus, Gohans, Trunks, all that, then they are going to be getting the full 200% buff. So that's definitely very good. Now, in terms of this guy's performance, you are not going to have to worry about him whatsoever. You don't even really got to throw him in slot 1, but he is a slot 1 option. So if you want to keep him in slot 1, he gets the 40% damage reduction. He's going to be doing a lot of damage, and he's just going to be a good unit overall. And then you do also have the standby So I would probably recommend against going in the standby, because I think you can only do the standby, what is it, turn 4? Wait, I just want to see really quick. Oh no, you have to take 5 attacks. So once you take the 5 attacks, it's probably going to be turn 3, maybe turn 4. And then by that point, it's not worth going into this guy's standby because he can't do any damage in here. So then you're really just in the standby to kind of survive for a couple turns to then go into the full power Super Saiyan 4. But then by the time you get to this guy, I mean, you're not. The fight's going to be over. So I would recommend just staying in this guy's form, so then you could continue doing damage and you don't got to worry about going into Maju and then not doing any damage. But still, like I said, this guy's going to be very useful. He's carrying over defense for multiple turns. He's going to be doing good damage, and he's got that damage reduction. So overall, very good unit. Now, next up, we do have the Evolution Blue Vegeta. So I've got the 2 Evolution Blue Vegetas right here. This guy you might be able to run as a lead because he does lead Pure Saiyans for 170%. So there's a lot of sub-teams you could use here. That's why Ultra Instinct Goku is the best Miraculous Awakening lead. But then for Pure Saiyans, for full power, like with this guy, there's just so many other sub-teams you could run. So you shouldn't really be struggling with a lead. But keep in mind, this guy is only leading for 170%. So then at this point, if you're going to run him as a lead, you might as well just run this guy as a lead because he actually leads Miraculous Awakening. But in terms of his kit, this guy's going to be pretty useful. He builds up the crit chance once you transform with him, which I think you can get, what was it, starting from the 4th turn? Yeah, you have a 40% chance starting from the 4th turn from start of battle. So if you get good RNG, you'll see this in the fight. But, I mean, if you're like me and you just get unlucky with this, you're probably not going to get it. But that's all right. This guy's still launching a ton of additionals. He's building up. He's getting stats on super. So then with all the supers he's doing in a turn, his stats will get pretty high. And then, you know, he's AGL, so he's got the base 5 additionals. So then you can do even more supers, even if you're 55%. So overall, he's going to be a pretty good option to bring on the team. He's got type advantage. So with all the additionals and then, like I said, type advantage, he's going to be doing some pretty solid damage. So definitely a unit you're going to want to bring on the team, even if you don't have him as a lead, just because of the damage he's going to be doing. And then next up for the other Evolution Blue Vegeta, he's good. I mean, same thing with the UI Goku. He's got the crits and additionals built in, and then he's stacking the 50% crit chance within the same turn. So then all additionals are guaranteed crits. So he's going to be doing some solid damage. He's got the revive and the active skill. The active skill you'll probably end up getting, but definitely not the revive. So pretty good option to bring. Nothing crazy with him, but he'll still put in some work in this event. And then next up, we do have Beast Gohan. So Beast Gohan, he's kind of a double-edged sword in here. So as you all know, if you get lucky key spheres with him, or if you get lucky with your key spheres, he can look very good. Once you get 24 key, you get the super effective against all types. You get the additional that has a great chance of becoming a super, and his damage is just going to be insane, especially because with every super he's building up. So this guy has potential to be very, very good. But he also has type disadvantage in this fight. So if you're not getting 24 key and you're missing out on the attacks effective against all types, you're going to be doing like no damage whatsoever. So then all the super attacks this guy's doing is going to be doing like, you know, 100,000 damage or something like that. Like it's not going to be doing any damage whatsoever because he's got type disadvantage. But then if you get lucky with Ki, then you're getting all these additional supers. You're super effective against all types on every single one of them. You're building up stats with every super performed. And then you'll see this guy pushing like, you know, 15 million on all of his attack stats. He can look impressive. And then also he's got the active skill, which I forgot to mention too. And this is going to hit very hard because you get guaranteed super effective against all types with this, as you can see in his passive right here. But if you just don't get lucky with Ki, it can be kind of difficult with him. So just keep that in mind. If he's not getting his Ki, he's going to be doing no damage whatsoever. But I still recommend bringing him on the team because worst things worse, he's not going to be doing that much damage. But defensively, he's going to be fine. He's got the guard for the first couple turns, and it's an EZA event, so it's not like it hits that hard. And then also his active skill, you should be able to get majority of the time. So you can get it when all allies attacking in the same turn are superheroes category allies starting from the 3rd turn from start of battle. And most units on this category are on superheroes. You got a lot of, you know, Gokus, you got the UI Gokus, you got the Evolution Blue Vegetas, you got the Guide Gokus, you got this Trunks right here. So a lot of superheroes units on this team. So then getting it shouldn't really be that difficult because then turn 3, obviously, you're going to be able to do a lot of damage. Now that's pretty much it with Beast Gohan. Like I said, just kind of a double-edged sword. The next two options, I mean, we don't really got to talk about for too long. We got Kale. She's pretty good. She's got type advantage. And then we've got God Goku. He does get the dodge and the crits for the first 10 turns. So with that, he could do some pretty solid damage. And I guess that's pretty much the video. There are other options I didn't mention, like Namek Goku. You've got, I guess, the UI Gokus right here. The UI Sign Gokus, I should say. There's the Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. There's other options, but I think the units I mentioned are like the main ones you should probably bring. But like I said, as long as you have a couple of these units on here, you should be all right. Like, there's good units on this category. It's not horrible. GT bosses or Universe 11 category. There's good options on here. So most players should be fine with this, but again, still figured I could do it just to help those who don't really know who to bring. Now, I guess that pretty much has been the video. Let me know what units you're going to be running on your team down in the comments, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.